Good morning.
Spooky
Oh fuck, I'm so loud.
skeleton.
It's a fall
Happy
episode.
spooky season, spooky.
You're more into the spooky, right? I feel like I'm just along for the ride.
Are you asking me?
You're more into the spooky season, and it's cool that we started with this film because
That's
all
what I
about
want to do.
it.
That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
But I'm glad that this is the movie that we started off with, and I hope to be more consistent now that we're into fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because like now like a lot of streaming services are starting to like
HBO
HBO's on it, bro.
Crazy, dude. I've already
HBO
seen, basically, I started watching everything like mid-August.
I'm starting to like scour, just see what's out there, and I don't watch any. Like I want to. Some of this shit seems super interesting, but I don't click on any of it because that's the whole gimmick of podcast.
No, but you should.
The beauty of this whole like experiment is that I get to experience like the legacy one at a time, and then I can digest it here on the podcast. It's not like I'm on a diet because I never had it. Like all I can, you get what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like I'm being restricted because I never had sugar, aka scary movies.
Some of them, the originals are on there.
I see like a lot of Jason films. The specific one for like Jason in Hell, I keep looking at the cover and it's flamey. And, like his mask is like chrome and there's a snake going through the eye holes.
That's what I'm saying.
So cool
There's
looking.
So many, like I
want to watch that movie just so I can
so
make
many
the art.
franchises and like remakes and stuff that that's why I would suggest just like fucking watch. I mean, I get your point. That's a pretty good.
Because if I do it, then it's just like, oh yeah, I've seen this or
maybe
whatever.
It's just me because to me I'm like refreshing.
Well, you can,
and then like
I think if you watch them, like that's just better for the podcast. But I think it's the opposite for me,
Yeah.
Because if I watch them, then it's not as like, what am I gonna bring to the
I'm
table?
so happy.
It's cool. No, I like it because it's fall and I see all these movies. I'm like, that one seems interesting. That one seems like these things.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Go on there.
What's on the Amazon?
There's more.
What's on there that like Leprechaun or something? I don't know what scary movies are on.
There's Elvira's 13 Nights.
That's also on HBO. Elvira's on HBO as well.
No, that's the movie Elvira.
Oh, I don't know anything
Mistress
about
of the Dark.
I don't know I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know
who she is, what she does.
Yeah, I know what she looks like, but I don't know what she is. Like
she's
the name.
She's a horror host. So like,
what does that mean? What does that mean?
So like back in the day, like the OG, which you might have heard of, is Vampira.
I mean, I've heard of
She has, like,
Keeper of the Crypt.
Yeah, Crypt Keeper is another one.
Yo, that's what it's called.
They're like I don't know how to.
So just horror being
like horror. Yeah, either like actual horror films or like little mini films that were made specifically for them to like create. This like.
That's cool. I know they had. I know a little bit of that. I think I know more about Crypt Keeper or whatever, just because I saw this like documentary about it, and I know that they had a comic book series, which kind of ties into this movie, because so you recommended this one. I don't know what we're gonna do next time, right? If anyone gives a shit, there's a movie that we have watched and not talked about, which is Dr. Sleep.
I wanted to talk about it right after The Shining, and then the thing is he watched it, and then I lagged, and then I finally watched it, and then I was like, hey, I watched it, and then I feel like he probably went on. I'm assuming you just went too long without like.
I don't remember what it is anymore.
Just not want to rewatch it or something.
I remember. Okay, so when I watched it, I fell asleep twice. I fell asleep twice watching it, so I had to rewatch it multiple. Yes, but I had to rewatch it. Like I've rewatched that movie like 2 or 3 times. Yeah,
so like the last podcast, like I had my notes, and then at the very beginning I had Dr. Sleep, and like I just at the very end I think Christian saw that I had it written down. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
I forgot about it.
Felt bad.
I honestly forgot about that movie. I would like to revisit it, but I kind of lost interest, dude. Personally, I did. Like,
that's fine.
We could talk about it right now. I think.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Why not?
Because we're talking about trick or treat. I would be so annoyed if
half.
Yeah.
Decaf, foam on the bottom.
When you tell your mom it's called a latte and she doesn't listen and she says cappuccino and she's wondering why she only has
very specific.
Foam and half
that's all you
of liquid, and she's like, why did they give me foam? And I was like, it's a latte, not a cappuccino. Anyway. Pumpkin spice.
So personal.
Because she tried to blame me, and I'm like, I didn't tell you to say that.
Bro, my mom's the same exact way. You can explain it 100 times, and then
she wrote it down. However the hell she spelled it, she wrote it down enough for her to be able to pronounce it the way I told her to.
But
we practiced it. Nope, she ordered a cappuccino.
She just doesn't respect the traditions like the beginning of this movie. Trick or treat. When I was typing it in to find it, it's on HBO, by the way, for anyone that wants to watch it. Obviously spoiled. It's how it goes. Yeah, so I try to spell it, and then I was like, oh, it's an R. It's trick or treat. And I'm like, who the fuck? Like, what is
when you say it? Trick or treat.
But
are you in your
head? Still hear trick or treat.
Oh, I don't.
I don't hear, like,
I've always like
trick or treat
before even like the movie.
Like tricker?
Tricker. Like it's all one word.
Tricker treat. Yeah. Once I got in it, it was cool. The intro of it, like the whole, like the aesthetic of the credits and stuff, like not of the actual film because they don't use like comic transitions. Mm-hmm. It's just in the beginning. It looks like a comic book, and I like looked it up.
Don't they? Like in between each little story, I think.
It just kind of just blends into the next one. There aren't like actual like comic book trend like flipping through pages. There's nothing like that. And I found out it's because it was supposed to be simultaneous release of the comic book.
Isn't that so cool?
Yeah, and
that would have been such a cool concept.
I thought the reason why it was like a comic book is because it was based on like an anthology series, like Elvira or Keepers of the Crypt or Twilight Zone, where it's like, or like I guess the modern rendition of that would be like Black Mirror. Right, so I thought it was like that, different stories in one comic book, and I thought that's what it was going to be. And then I looked it up, and it was going to be side by side, and the comic book, it was going to be like a short series of a bunch of stories, and it was all going to tie together, but then something happened with contracts, and it did not go through, and like that was kind of disappointing to me.
And the comics did end up being released later on.
Did they really?
I think so.
Like a year or two later, or?
Yeah, they just didn't. They wanted it to come out like,
simultaneously, which would have been cool.
Comic. Yeah, it would have.
And I know this like movie isn't. It's not like an unknown movie. Like when I was doing some research about it, because I wanted to know more. They were supposed to be a part 2.
That could have either been really sick or really bad. Well, I guess that's any sequel.
Mm-hmm. It's tricky. I think the best sequel is Shrek 2.
That a lot of people know the Shrek 2. Yeah.
Shrek 2 is the best sequel to any movie that I've. It's just as good as the first. I don't even watch the
first one, to be honest. I don't even care for the first one.
Shrek 2 is better.
Yeah.
I believe that, and you could fight me to the grave on that one. It's the only sequel that's.
I love Shrek 2.
Yeah.
What the fuck was I saying?
I don't know. We just started talking about Shrek.
Oh yeah. I don't think a lot of people will probably know it by the title. I mean, unless you're like more on. Yeah. Had you ever?
No, I've never heard about this.
But like you've seen the little monito, right, Sam? I'm sure you've probably seen it.
Here, it reminds me of like when I was in my emo phase in middle school. There was like
those little
like
couples,
yarn,
like holding each other.
Yeah, that too. But like for me, it's specifically this like these like yarn dolls that I would see in like Hot Topic.
Yeah.
And that's what it reminded me of.
I think for a lot of people, they recognize Sam, but they don't know what or who he is.
So Sam is just like this giant, this big-headed knapsack with, it looks like a
burlap sack.
A burlap sack, yeah, with like, he has button eyes, right? Big old button eyes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's going to be the fucking thumbnail.
Size of a kid.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, he did look vaguely familiar, and I don't know if it was because what you're saying that he just
because he's usually around like in Halloween stores. Like
really,
I don't know if it's necessarily like a prop, but like maybe in passing, like however old the movie is, like there's at least some stuff of him, even if it's as small as like a mug or something.
All right, I just want to take a minute, we want to take a minute to actually talk about the fucking deaths in the movie because there's so many of them. Right? Like what caused each person?
What causes the spirit of Halloween / Sam to fucking kill you. And why you're targeted.
Right. So the first one was a lady who did not want to fuck with Halloween. And then you know what this fucking cunt, this piece of shit did?
Did you say that?
Cunt?
Yeah.
That's my favorite cuss word. It's not even about it being about any sort of...
No, I mean just on here.
Yeah, we don't have any sponsors yet.
Is that what that controls? Sorry, I'm
yeah, the algorithm and stuff.
What like caused you to get taken down for saying?
Oh no, you don't get taken down. You just don't get monetized. But like we have 60 subscribers, 37, 60? Some shit like that. 60. Like something, I don't know, something like that. I don't know what number it is.
Okay.
So this fucker was like, yo, fuck this pumpkin. She tips it over and it's out. Poor pumpkin.
Did she tip it over?
Yeah, she kicked it, tipped it over, and it
she took the light out of the pumpkin.
Yep. And you know what? Sammy was like, I'm a pumpkin. You kicked a pumpkin.
Yeah, That's kicked me.
You
kicked
deserve it.
My people.
I'm gonna hang you from a fucking tree. You're gonna bleed. Don't fuck a pumpkin. Don't fuck a pumpkin.
And then she fuck a pumpkin. And then she started taking all the decorations down,
which you don't do. And like her excuse was fucking bullshit. By the way, my fucking mother's coming in the morning.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, my mother's coming in the morning. She's gonna talk shit, something along those lines.
Whose mom? Yesterday was Halloween.
Yeah, what do you expect, dude? Yeah, we were out and it was late. What do you want me to do, mom? Like, dude, her relationship with her mom must be shit if that's what the fucking she's scared of that. And then I don't remember
the guy's just like,
all right, he started watching porn.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
And did you hear she was like, all right, turn it on?
Yeah, dude.
Anyway.
So I don't know, what was the second death?
The second.
Oh, it was a fat kid.
That was the first. That was the first.
Was it? No. I don't.
Oh no. You're right.
Yeah.
The kid. Mm-hmm. They called him the jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, chubby boy.
Pumpkin.
He
didn't check his candy, so that's what he gets.
He went up, bro. You know when you go to the house and they have a bowl?
He was also smashing pumpkins, that little fuck. Somebody smashed my sister's.
That's the rule.
Somebody smashed my sister's pumpkins one Halloween. People who you guys are fucking bitches.
Yeah, bro. Dude, don't disrespect the fucking pumpkin or else Sammy's gonna get your ass, bro. You're gonna be able to. You're gonna try to shoot him with a shotgun.
Smash pumpkins suck ass.
Yeah, no, that's a dick move.
Like sweaty swamp ass.
Mm-hmm.
Not like consensual.
Yeah. Hairy gorilla. You're like your PE teacher who tries way too hard to work out with everyone. His ass. His ass.
Oh, what's the big guy's name from Jackass when they have him run the treadmill covered in?
Oh, I don't know his name.
His ass.
Covered
in green paint. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ogre ass, if you will. That's what you're gonna get.
I'm an ogre.
Don't steal the candy from the bowl. Ya tubby lumpkins. You're gonna get killed by your principal. All right? And then fuck.
Yeah, so then it was that one, and then it's the kids. And the kids messed with the innocent.
Yep.
Which was the girl who was just trying to have a good time, trick or treat. She was invited by the fuck ass from Baby Daddy. Mm-hmm. And they pranked her. Mm-hmm. And then she hit her head and shot herself. So
that's what happens. You bully someone. The dead's gonna come alive.
What the heck? What is the werewolves?
They kill the principal.
They kill
the principal.
Ladies?
Yeah. They are the hunters, not the hunted. And then there was that chick in the alley that we talked about.
Yeah.
And I think that's and then the guy who drowned the kids in the lake.
Right. But when did the werewolves kill the principal? I don't remember.
He was the guy that was killing a girl. He was the guy that killed the girl.
Oh, he was the vampire?
Yes.
I never realized that.
He had the mask on.
I just watched this for the third time in like 2-3 weeks. I'm a fucking idiot. That was his date. His date was the freaking chick who got...
Yep.
Oh my...
She
this last time while I was watching it, I just made the connection that the man was the bus driver, and now
in this episode,
oh my god, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And that's how you die. Those are the rules of Halloween. Don't be fat. Don't fuck in the streets. Don't kill kids. Don't smash pumpkins. And leave the innocent alone. Stop pranking them.
We already said the.
And then stop being a dick. That's the last rule. That's my rule. Don't be a dick. I'll send Sammy after your ass.
I should have had my mom watch Trick or Treat to scare her into celebrating as a kid. I'm sorry. He's gonna come for you. Okay.
This movie, dude. was a different one. This movie is full of like 4 different stories. And honestly, bro, it's fun, scary. It's like fun, spooky. Like, this is the kind of movie that I feel like you can watch with your nephews, someone that's in like elementary school, middle school, but like also is like you could have fun with it if you are an adult.
Yeah, like if you're having like a Halloween party, this kid play in the background,
and put it in the background, and it's not gonna fuck anyone up.
Any time, and there's something.
Yeah, it's not gonna scar you. You're just gonna be like, oh, Halloween, good vibes, like.
And there's even still like, it's like
a little
perfect,
gory.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Like,
exactly. and it's cool because it's a lot of stories. So if you're half paying attention to it, then you know you look up and it's like, oh, it's already a new thing. So don't even worry about it. But I was never terrified at all. I was just like, oh, that's funny. Like, oh, it looks like. Maybe is my perspective super different than how you view this movie? Because that's what I'm starting to feel like.
Yeah.
Because for me, this was like fun, cheesy, not that serious. It'll keep you interested because there's so many. There's like, if you're not into this story, then there's another story. And it's all like the only monster is this thing with the fucking pumpkin head. For me, it was just like fun to watch, and I didn't feel threatened. So I would like to really hear your perspective, because if you were actually, it's fine if you were. I was watching it and it was fucking dark and whatever. I was alone. I don't feel like I'm shitting on the movie. I didn't go into it thinking it was gonna be a masterpiece. Right, but from the get-go, when I saw the comic book stuff and then the fucking robot suit and the way she got killed and everything,
it's fun.
I'm a believer that not everything that is fun and entertaining and a good time has to be like creme de la creme 5-star dinner. This, okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to shit on it. The things that I was saying, to me, make it all charming. It makes it just fun and like dumb, and I love it. It's like a junk food movie, and I love junk food.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
It seemed like everyone had a good time making it. I would watch this movie again.
Yeah.
It's super fun. I've
watched it 3 times now.
Already?
Yeah.
Wait, like in your whole life, or just like back to back?
No,
this year?
Since it's been on HBO, which I don't know how long it was, but I discovered it was on there like last month.
Mm-hmm. But how do you feel about it?
When I first watched it, when I was a kid, I thought it was pretty good. That it was like, the thing is, I find it like, so when I was a kid, my parents, I shouldn't say my parents, one parent, you take a guess.
One of the
parents was like very against Halloween, and then like we would go to church.
Is it like a religious thing?
That's the fucking stupid. Yeah. There's no like nothing to back up what they say, but like they would go in church. We would all be saying that's the only time I like actually something would catch my attention, because like they're saying like they say Halloween, right? And then you're thinking, oh yeah, we're all gonna go trick or treating, whatever. Mm-hmm. You look up and they're like, don't take your kids, it's the devil's holiday, and like all this. And which, if you literally look into the history of it, none of it has to do with any of that. So anyway.
I don't remember the exact
It's an old Celtic holiday or pagan tradition. About like the thought that the barriers between our world and the spirit world are like weak or non-existent. So like they can come in, and they back then would like light bonfires to cool. protect themselves and like ward off spirits and shit, and then they would leave like offerings. It's pretty like similar to the Day of the Dead. They kind of like cross over in a way. There's cool. The history behind it's really fucking cool because like this pagan holiday like survives the like rise of Catholicism, and so
like all the other
so
bullshit.
Like the Catholics took pieces of it and they made All Saints Day and All Souls Day, and then it like, also like collides with like the Aztecs.
It's like is it the idea of like, hey, if we make it similar to what they already are familiar with, then it'll be easier for them to convert because the holidays are similar.
Yeah, and then like sense. Spain went to fucking Mexico and did their damn thing over there. We talk about it all the time. Anyways, the Aztecs already believed, like, I think because it's like the darkest of the year, and things are dying.
Summer goes,
so pretty much every religion has their own version of like death and this.
Yeah, that makes sense. Days. I mean, you look at fucking trees; they go from like full blossoming, lively things to like sticks.
So then, like the Aztecs' beliefs of like the dead is like your relatives who are passing are having to get to land of the dead, and they believe there was like 9 levels to get there. So like during this time, they would leave offerings to like help them through their journey to get to where they need to be, and then like that mixed with like all this other shit like turned into like Day of the Dead, and then they have like ofrendas and they leave. Yeah. Some churches turn it into like it's the devil's day or something. Yeah. And then they like, I remember them saying, like, you know, the fucking razor blades in your candy and all that stuff.
Okay, so there was, I'm glad you brought that up.
You did your research.
I did a little bit of research in that, not for this specific thing. I was just on YouTube, you know, and you watch like serial killer stuff. Yeah. And in the US, there's like only one actual documented like occurrence of it, and it was in like the 70s here. I think I have a fucking link. Yeah, there's only one recorded thing.
Ronald Clark O'Brien.
Yeah, he poisoned his own children. He poisoned it. He went and got prick. Ronald.
So that's Clark what started O'Brien. The like. Well, I don't know.
It was even before that. No,
yeah, there was just a myth.
Yeah, there's just
it started with razor blades, and then it was poison, and then you're saying this is the one.
This is the only. Yeah, this is the only guy.
This only reinforces the whole thing. So that's why I love those memes. That's like, make sure to check your kids' candy this Halloween, and it's like a gun in between a Twix bar.
That's great. But it would just take so much fucking work to do it, and that's not the most efficient way to kill someone.
But then the things that are, I feel like so many movies out of like Halloween and stuff is the other, I don't know if it's necessarily like a myth, but things that people make to, you know, kind of scare you away from Halloween is like, oh, there's people, like everyone's wearing a mask. There can actually be a killer behind one of those masks, and they're taking advantage, and like, and like in the movie when one of the girls is like thrown, you know, she's bleeding, and people are just like, she's just another fucking drunk bitch.
Yeah, dude, when I saw that, I'm like, fuck, dude, this feels a little too real.
That's what I'm saying. So like, I understand your take, and I like fully, I'm like, yeah, it is fun and like all that. But then when I watch it, I'm constantly thinking of like the shit that I was told growing up and why it was so bad. Yeah. And like another thing that like I remember being told is like people can use real dead bodies as like decorations, and you wouldn't even know, and like shit about, you know, people being hurt, and like screaming and stuff, and like all of that shit. Which I was just like, I just want candy.
It's just way too easy to like fuck with people, because everything's already kind of supposed to be spooky, and then you add this, but what if it's a real factor to it, and it just makes it worse.
Did you trick-or-treat as a kid?
Yeah, man, I remember going to trick-or-treating with kids from the neighborhood, and we had like an SUV at the time, and we went trick-or-treating, and it was really fun. I had both my parents and stuff laying that shit out.
Would you drive to specific neighborhoods?
Yeah, that's what we did. That's what we got the SUV for. Yeah, we got in there, and that's what we did, and it was like really cool. I don't know how old I was. I was probably like 7 or something, and that's when I started like trying to wheel and deal my candy. I'm like, I'll give you 2 nerds for a Crunch bar.
I always try to give away like my duds, and like I hate bottle caps.
You really?
I think like, I don't know how anyone else feels about it. They're disgusting, and it's funny because if you talk to other people, they'll be like, I love root beer. Is that literally what it is? Is that why they're called bottle caps?
Yes, they're supposed to taste like soda.
Oh, gross.
It's fine. I mean,
that's cool. I've
always been a chocolate boy.
You know what I loved? Those candy cigarettes, because I was like, I'm smoking a cigarette, but I'm like really eating it. Cool. And now I smoke real. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, dude. Now she has a smoker's cough. Yeah, and she has cancer.
3 packs a day. Anyway, so I love this movie, and like I actually like. I know it sounds silly, but I actually get scared. Not like. I don't actually believe, you know, like, these things are going to come get me, or they're real. But like while I'm watching, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I've seen it already. You know what I mean? But like,
what makes you react that way in the movie? Like what's
because I think back to my childhood, and I'm like, that's what they said.
The only part that made me be like, what the fuck is this, was when Sam, the like mascot.
I love him.
What the mascot of the film, when his fucking like
his thing comes off, his
knapsack, comes off, and then it's an actual fuck. It looks like a pumpkin.
Throws you off
headache,
like crazy, huh?
It looks like a pumpkin alien looking fucker.
It's like a skeleton, a skull carved into like a pumpkin, but then it has like
actual eyes and shit. That's what like what.
So you have to admit, like that was like.
That was like
scary.
Yeah, it made me like, what the fuck is this? Like it definitely opened my eyes. Yeah, like if I wasn't into the movie, that when you see that shit, you're like, okay, what the fuck is going on? which was like cool. And is he supposed to like represent like his?
He's the spirit of Halloween.
And he kills people.
You don't.
Is it
because of the rules? Did you?
What are the okay? They say it in the movie, like, right? They said like don't disrespect how, like, when the chick, she was gonna take down the decorations. That's like disrespectful to Halloween. And then like, so I guess disrespecting the actual dead, right?
It's always hand out candy for trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, okay.
Always wear a costume.
Okay.
Never blow out a jack-o'-lantern before midnight, which is what she did. Before taking everything down as they were arriving.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna blow this stupid fucking thing out. And they were just like, just do it tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? He was like, what's the big deal? But she blew it out anyway. And that's when like she was being watched.
Oh yeah, by what's his name? Sammy?
Yeah. Okay. Always respect the dead.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Always check your candy and never take down your decorations before November 1st. So yeah, that's another one. And then never hurt the innocent.
Oh.
So those kids, when they were fucking with the girl, they played a prank on her that was fucking like with the innocent. And then she actually ended up getting hurt when she got like pushed and she like knocked her head.
And that's when the other things came up. This podcast is a little all over the place. I'm not gonna fucking lie. It's just this whole movie is all over the place in a way. Like, yes, there's like one story leads to the other, but
to talk about it,
it's like it's not a cohesive thing where like they interconnect, and there's like little bits of it that are, you know, like you see people in that's one thing that I really like about this movie, that they connect it, but not in like this plot leads into that's what I liked about it. It's not like this story affects this story affects this story. It's more like, oh, that I remember those are the first people, those are like this is the first scene.
All of the stories are happening like
simultaneously. So you see some of the other people doing their thing in the background and stuff. Like one chick, you said it, she was getting like hurt or murdered or whatever in the hallway.
Yeah.
Right? And then she comes out.
The person who gets annoyed is
the first couple.
Yes, who blew out the pumpkin.
Exactly.
And she's like already getting annoyed with like thinking, oh, this woman's just a stupid drunk, whatever. Yeah. It was like, no, she's getting killed.
She's getting killed, yeah. She's like, help me. And then the husband is like, oh, she's probably just drunk and being stupid or whatever.
Yeah.
I recommend it, man. Like, watch the movie. You get more out of it. Like, even though we're talking about it. Especially if you've never seen it before. Yeah, even though we're talking about it, watching it is just, it's a roller coaster, but like a chill, like not super.
It's kind of how you described, like you could definitely watch it with like your younger siblings, and it's like the perfect spooky that's kind of like, it's just gonna scare you in that moment, like maybe like little jump scares. You're like, what the fuck? Like you're saying with Sam's head, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's kind of like, it's just over and done with. Like, I don't think it's gonna keep you up at night, even if you're like a kid. I don't like. Only thing I remember when I was a kid is like the gory shit that happened. It was kind of like, like that would, like, I remember thinking like that would hurt, and like, oh, that's shitty, you know, when he like the Achilles.
Oh yeah. Tendon.
I like that stuck with me for so long, and even still, I don't like seeing like people who have very prominent like Achilles tendons. Like, it just seems I just think of that, and I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking like rip that out. Anyway,
this movie is definitely something that's like, I think the reason why we're all over the place is because there's more action than plot. You get what I'm saying? There's more happening like visually than there is storytelling wise.
Because I think if we talked about the plot, we would just be like
ruining every scene.
Yeah, we would just be telling you the entire movie.
Exactly. So it's kind of it's kind of hard to do it. So I think if anything, it's just an excuse to kind of just talk about Halloween.
Yeah.
And it's like
that's what I'm saying. Like. Yeah. That's I think what makes it so good.
Mm-hmm. It's the perfect embodiment of like what Halloween is. It's when you're older, you get fucked up, you wear costumes, you hang out with your buddies, and then when you're a kid, you pull pranks on your buddies.
It's almost like the movie is saying like none of you guys are safe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like all ages.
Yeah, that's true. It made me want to celebrate Halloween
more. Wouldn't that be so cool? Like Salem, like in Boston.
What's in Boston? I don't know anything about this. I'm not a spooky boy. This podcast is the closest to me being spooky.
So Salem would be like, you know, in the movie how the streets are like crowded and everyone's like celebrating all crazy. Yeah. That's where like the witch trials happen.
Yeah.
So like they're known for, you know, spooky shit, just like year round. You know, that pretty much everyone downtown or within the vicinity is like marketing that. And so like come October, like people are touring, tourists are like crazy. I would love to go there.
Yeah, it sounds like fun, honestly. I think nowadays Halloween has become less and less of a priority to people, and then it becomes like those things. You ever been to a trunk or treat?
Absolutely not.
I've been to one.
Really?
Yeah, when I was like towards the end of my middle school career, if you could call it that.
Yeah.
I went to one and it wasn't half bad. It was like they're usually at church. Yeah, it's at a church.
Well, that's like one of the things.
There's like
those kinds of churches are usually like, this is the only like safe way to
exactly. But when we went and it was cool, man. Like I liked it because there was like music. Like there was like of course like Thriller and the basic like what you expect to hear out of like a fucking American white whatever the fuck Halloween. The Monster Mash. Yeah, exactly. And then we of course went whatever like to each trunk and got candy, but there was also nachos though. There was also nachos. You got a Capri Sun or like a Kool-Aid pouch or whatever. I had a good time, but also next to the church that we went to were houses, so we also got to trick or treat, and it was with like my two best friends at the time. So honestly, it wasn't a bad Halloween. Like we started at this trunk or treat thing, and then we branched
Halloween
off.
So fun when you were able to start like going out with your friends. You know what I mean? It's like you don't need your parents to like take you anywhere. And
I remember having like a lightsaber, and at the end of it, it was like a skull. And I went with my cousin, but my cousin was like 10, 15 years older than me. So she had kids that were my age.
Yeah.
And because she was like my cousin, she wasn't really that attentive. So we went.
She's not like
on my
like your parents would.
Yeah, no. She was like, yeah, man, I know. Yeah. Like, well, also the neighborhood, like everyone knew each other or whatever. So it wasn't like they could let us roam. And I remember it was like a group of us kids just fucking running around, like going to each house. Like, we'd be like, yo, Jimmy, go to the bush, Sydney's coming, and then he would jump out, and then he'd be like, ah, and then like, it was just a lot of running around and like bullshit. So when people say when I was a kid, or like not when, this is like someone older saying when, like, from the 80s or whatever, like Gen like X saying like, oh, when I was a kid, we actually did trick or treat and then we did pull pranks or whatever. I feel like I got some of that because of this, because it was a safe neighborhood. Everyone knew each other, kind of a thing. Like,
I loved those houses that like nothing's gonna happen, but you're like,
it's a creepy house,
terrified to go.
Like no one's ever seen the neighbors come in.
Jump at me, or when people would put like
just one
decors, like on a chair. That's a person.
Yeah, is it a person or is it a decoration?
Just watch it as you're yeah. My sister used to do that. She would make Ricky dress as Ghostface because he would just happen to be Ghostface, and so like
can we just talk about how great of a design Ghostface is as a fucking horror icon? It's so cool looking. The mask, it's like unsettling, but it's
typical knife that you get with it is like sick.
Yeah, and then like the actual like gown, like the cloak that he wears with I think when we were doing like your party,
I had a Halloween party for my birthday,
which was really fun, by the way. I would invite you, but it already happened. Yeah, you said that you had that. Is that the one you were talking about?
That's the one I was talking about. Yeah. That's cool. So I have a few things that I've collected that I just kept from like when we were kids and stuff. Like I have a Slipknot mask, and like now Elias has his or whatever. But like
which you made, by the way, which was really impressive. Like when Elias said that you painted on the thing, I'm like, it was dude, Michi really?
Did. Yeah, my niece.
Dude, it looked fucking sick. I saw it.
Yeah, so I have a Chris Slipknot mask, which is the dude with the long nose. He's a little like warped or whatever, but it was cool. And that's Elias.
I'm sure it looks fine.
And so like all we had to do was buy a red jumpsuit. So like Zeke's brother Elias was going to be him, and then last minute he decided he wanted to go as Joey, which is like he just wears a white mask and like has long hair. So then we just went and bought like a Jabberwocky mask, and then Michi painted it to look like him, and it was fucking,
and it looked good.
Yeah, and I just think
everyone's costume I think was fucking solid.
Yeah, so me and Zeke went as the devil and a nun, and then
I went as Jack Black in Tenacious D when he had that one fucking magical pick that he took from the devil, and I wore eyeliner. My fucking button-up shirt was open. I had like a guitar and everything, and then Hannah dressed as me when I used to work at Target, and she used my name tag
and she put on the beard.
Yeah, she painted on a beard on her face
to make a beard, and it actually looked like it. And sometimes I would look at her and I'm like, I'd do like a double take.
No, wait, Stacy and stuff was the
and
like I remember her. Like,
and my sister would be like they would look
at Hannah, and they were like trying to talk to me because I was like I was getting people drinks and stuff, and they would hear my voice, but they would like look at Hannah like they were gonna talk to me,
and then they'd be like, oh shit,
it's not him. like that was really cool. Yeah, I don't know what Michi went as.
Bride of Chucky.
Oh yeah, I remember. And then like
my sister was a chola,
and so was Stacy.
No, Stacy was like a frat boy.
Oh yeah. But she to me reminded me of like those guys from like
when it was swag versus emo.
Yeah, when it was like the swag stuff. That's what. Yeah.
She was a swaggy boy.
Yeah, and then Al went as Bakugo from My Hero Academia.
Yeah, it was everyone
was solid. Yeah, everyone tried. That's what I liked about it. And then we took a group picture, and it was fucking awesome.
And that's what like I remember I said like I wanted to have a Halloween party, and then I like from the beginning I wanted everyone to do costumes, but I didn't want to inconvenience everyone because I'm like it's summer and I don't want you guys like there's no stores open.
No, what I like is I like homemade costumes more than anything. People work it when they're the ones making it, and then you get to see like the little things that they did might be a little like extra step to make it seem like cool.
What was your go-to costume as a kid? Or did you have a go-to where you something different every year?
I have been a cop when I was like in middle school, and I started growing a beard.
Terrifying.
But I was growing like not beard. I was growing a mustache. So I looked a little older. Okay. And I had like the cop glasses and stuff. And then my friend, because I had like 2 police badges that I bought a yard sale. So we had like actual police badges. He was my deputy.
Did you do like repeat costumes?
I don't know. I know I was Scream at one point. I was Mr. Fantastic at one point. I was a cop. One year I think I just painted my face, and
that works.
If anyone knows anything about me, I put all the speakers that I owned on one backpack and powered them all on, and like tied all the aux cords together to like at that point to my phone with the aux jack. So then it was just me. We were like trick-or-treating or whatever, and I just had a backpack full of speakers.
What were you playing?
At the time I was probably into like Skrillex and shit. So yeah, and like I remember like I had these 2 speakers that neon lights that would actually like rave, you know what I'm saying? Like they would blink to the beat, and that was my get up, I guess. Yes, I don't even. That was not even a costume. That's just,
but like people are just okay.
Yeah, like he did something. I don't know what it is.
And then like usually people don't want like. Adults don't want to ask what you are because they're
just like I don't know what the new cartoons are or like what's happening right now. Is it a meme or whatever? But like that, I don't remember many of my costumes.
I repeatedly went because my parents weren't like the biggest fans of Halloween. Like so they definitely weren't going to blow money. You know what I mean? Because even just like a basic costume is pretty pricey.
The most my parents would do was just have some candy in the front yard, and my dad would be like, no, my dad, but it's just like, oh, I know other people in the neighborhood are gonna be like out, so I'm just gonna cook something on the grill, and then we just have candy.
That sounds pretty fucking chill though.
Yeah, if we just have candy out, and if some kids come, then they get some candy. You know what I mean? Like they're not putting like we didn't even decorate the house. It was literally just like the porch. You see my dad grilling outside. My mom had a bowl of candy.
Yeah, but that's awesome. Like kids are still like, oh, sick, another house.
Yeah, it wasn't scary. Yeah, it was just like a barbecue in the nighttime with candy. Like that's literally what it was.
Did you guys ever get? Oh, you guys always did candy?
Yeah.
Okay, and like, so you never got egged?
No. Well, like I said, in the neighborhood, like especially when I was growing up, it was fairly new. It was a fairly new neighborhood. Everyone so my parents' neighborhood when I grew up, like everyone helped build each other's houses. So like it was a pretty tight knit community. Everyone was vaguely the same age, had kids vaguely the same age, and like I think I was very fortunate, and that's why I think I had such like great or like decent Halloweens.
Yeah, I mean our Halloweens were good, especially like because we had my sister. My sister was
older.
Much, like I think she's the reason we could still
Halloween?
do Halloween.
Yeah.
Because I think like if she didn't exist, I don't know that we would still be doing that, or like we would just be walking around like normal clothes. I don't know, but because she's pretty much like in my parents' ear saying like this isn't a big deal. Like I'm taking Stacy trick or treating.
We're just gonna go.
Yeah.
We're just gonna go have a good time.
But if I got a costume, it was gonna be something like cheap and simple. From it's the cheapest it could be. You know what I mean?
So like the fucking sheet.
No, because my mom doesn't want to ruin a good sheet.
Really?
Dead ass.
Okay, so what'd you go
when
as?
I was a kid, I got gifted a bumblebee costume from my neighbor across the way. I think it had to be like 4
Transformer
or 5.
Bumblebee or an actual bumblebee?
like a bumblebee. It was like a little striped body in the hood. I was probably like 5, and I was the bumblebee until I could not fit in it anymore for however many years. Until from like 5 until like I gained weight, which if you look at pictures, I would say that was probably like 3rd grade where I just fucking like sponged up.
Bro,
no, but like I'm growing, right? Yeah. Whatever. So up until like 3rd grade, I wore the bumblebee every single year.
So 2-3 years.
Yeah, and then after that, I was a witch for X amount of years, and then one time I wanted to be a vampire.
I've done vampire.
Yeah, but I wanted to be like a girl vampire. So I bought like this pink costume dress. It was just, I don't know what the fuck it was supposed to be. Probably a princess. And then I thought I had bought in fangs. Like they were the kind that you like. It comes with the paste, and you have to like put it in hot water and like attach it to your teeth, right?
Like
denture glue, but it wasn't that. It was like cheapy. But it's supposed to work, right? Yeah. And so like, I thought they were the real thing. I was like, this is gonna be fucking cool. I'm gonna look cool. When I put them on,
you look buck teeth. Is that what it was?
They weren't really fang. Yeah, it looked like I had buck teeth. They were sticking out of my mouth. Like I couldn't close my mouth.
Your lips were like,
dude, I was probably like
bubbly.
Yeah, and so like I had to keep them. Like my fake teeth were just showing. You know what I mean? And I was probably in like,
I know what you're talking about. Like
I was probably 9 when that happened, or a little older, but I'm still like not a teenager yet, but still a kid. Yeah. You know, like trying to do.
You're
something
about to hit middle school, so it's a little different.
Every door I went to, like, and everyone else, like, because like my brother was Ghostface, like I fucking said, for every single year, pretty much. Yeah. So that's always gonna work. Stacy, I think like she always got pretty good costumes. It was always fine. And then when I would go up, I was getting laughed at. And really? Like my costume wasn't supposed to be funny. Like it was supposed to be scary. It was supposed to be, I had this like cool idea, and like I remember like wanting to cry.
Bro, you look I see something in your eye right now, dude.
Because it made me so sad.
You seem hurt.
And I'm so sorry. I remember like it was really cold because like Halloween, you never like here in California, you never know if it's gonna be like actually cold or like. So I didn't bring like a sweater, and like nobody else did, and I remember it was fucking freezing. It was the worst Halloween ever.
Yeah, because some Halloweens it's like hot as fuck, and then sometimes it's like raining. Yeah, and it's like I don't know what the fuck it is with Halloween, but like over here it's like the weather's never fucking accurate. Damn, dude. But it's crazy. Even though you're like trials and tribulations or whatever, you still manage to like enjoy Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, I think more so because like I wasn't able to like do what I wanted as a kid. I didn't have money, so like I couldn't go as hard as I wanted to. So now I'm like, I have the funds. Like, let's do this.
All your costumes have been pretty solid.
Thank you.
So like as far as like when we
and they're usually for the most part they're still makeshift, but like I'm going out of my way to find things if it means like going to thrift stores and shit, but like I'm hunting, you know what I mean, for the perfect costume. So that's fun. I love doing Zeke's costume.
Hold on, do you think Zeke's gonna give you the hookup this year? Cause
the hookup?
Yeah. He's working at a Halloween store.
Zeke got a job at Spirit, and I'm like fucking ecstatic about it
cool.
Because like,
dude, it's so cool. I remember like when we first started job hunting, like because we went together. You guys tried to get Spirit. We tried to get.
Do you remember he landed it?
He landed it,
but something happened.
It was his ID or his
social.
His parents. He couldn't get hold of it. His
parents lost his.
Yeah. It's so...
And then he lost it because anyway.
I remember, dude, because he was so bummed out. We were
all pumped. We were like, dude, that's
you got it,
sick.
dude.
And like he just freshly turned 18, and that's your first job. You know what I mean? Like it was gonna be cool.
Like it's the beginning of something.
Yeah.
And then it's like I don't have my socials because my parents are irresponsible.
Yeah.
But like now he got it. You got it. It's not too late. It's not too late. Yeah. So I hope he gets a discount, and I feel like that would go a long way. And maybe. Now you can get the limited edition like Chucky killer fucking weapon stuff that you were talking about.
Maybe he can help me.
Yeah, he might be able to hide stuff at the very least. He'll be able to hide some of the cool shit.
He'll like Yeah, especially because he works in the mornings.
Exactly.
Be like, hey, I put this here, so like he could just tell me to go while he's working.
Exactly. Like he could probably buy it for you.
he'll let me know when they're like getting the like loads or whatever.
Yeah, you got. I think you got the hiccup this year. It's gonna be cool. Do you know what you're gonna be this year?
So.
Like what plans you have?
I don't know. So it's on a Sunday, right?
And God's Day.
Fuck off.
Shout out to Kanye.
So normally, I don't know if like we're doing something, you know, like us as friends.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah,
right. So like my thought process is like, if we do something, then I'll probably do like one costume. I like to do if I can fit in multiple costumes in like 1 year. You know what I mean?
I just at least at one point in my life, I'd like to do a group costume.
Yeah, so for like actual Halloween,
we'll just all be crayons.
I think I
know. No. We're not gonna be, of course, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, like even if it's that stupid.
But I think for actual Halloween, we're gonna be at my mom's giving out candy.
That's fine.
We can be doing something, and it's like a Sunday. But
is your dad gonna grill? Because
no, my dad doesn't.
Damn it.
Give two shits about Halloween.
No, but like doesn't he grill on Sundays?
Yeah.
That's what I want. I just.
So my thought process is if I get invited to a party like Friday or something, then that would be like one costume, which I don't know.
Dude, multiple costumes over
just two.
Oh.
And then like on actual Halloween, I dress up like like on actual Halloween, right? And then for that, I think we're doing Playboy bunnies and Michi's Hugh Hefner because it's just fun.
You and Zeke?
Yeah, me, Zeke, having conservative family members and stuff because it's like we're doing the costume that we're doing, right? But it's like, and Michi's involved in it, but she's the pimp, you know? So it's like, what can you, like what? We're the ones dressed as hoes, you know, like we're her hoes.
The minor is the one that's right. the one that's dressed so like appropriately.
We just thought that was fucking hilarious, like a good idea. And cool. Then she's excited to like call us her bitches, you know.
Yeah, shit
pose,
like that. Is Elias also gonna be a bunny?
He said he would, but I don't know. How do we tie back into the movie?
I mean, I don't know, man. I think
that's so lost.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with not. Honestly, dude, if we don't talk about the rest of the thing, I think we did good.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
Fuck. I don't know what that was. All right, there you go. You close it, man. It's the end of the thing. It's the whole world. It's over.
Okay. The movie's really good. Watch it. It's a fun, like, family movie. Not family. I don't know. It's a good party movie. Why are you laughing?
Nothing, dude.
I don't want to do this anymore.
What?
Nope.
It's fine.
Nope.
Do you know?
Nope.
You close it.
This is a buck teeth all over again.
No, you close it. I always close it. Teeth.
I just wanted candy, and you're a grown adult laughing at me, and I was supposed to be a scary vampire.
I was laughing because I liked the energy, and it seemed giggly. That's why I was laughing. It wasn't at you. It was like, oh, okay, I like this. This is funny. This is a fun.
Watch the movie. It's really good.
There it is, boys. Subscribe. Eat my ass. If you made it this far, comment. Fucking Bumblebee.
Comment your Halloween costume.
Oh, that'd be lit. Yeah.
Childhood Halloween costume.
Yeah. What'd you dress up as when you were like, you know, before middle school? You know, that kind of shit. Elementary school.
Ghost? Right? Nope. I'm gonna save that.
Bye. Bye. Yeah.
Yo. You know that TikTok audio? That sound scares the shit out of me. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Still recording?
Yes.
Oh no.
This is the ending. If anyone makes it this long.